The wind dragged its fingers across the plains like it was searching for something it had lost. Dust lifted and settled again around the old ranch, clinging to the fences, the barn, the silence. Clara dropped to her knees near the wooden wall, breath tearing out of her chest in sharp, broken gasps. "I can't hold it in anymore," she whispered. Ethan Hale, the rancher, froze. He had been through droughts, cattle raids, and nights when men didn't come home. But this was different. He watched her carefully, not moving, not speaking, like one wrong word might shatter whatever fragile thing was keeping her upright. Clara had arrived at his ranch 3 days ago. Half dead, dehydrated, eyes carrying a terror deeper than hunger. She never explained where she came from. She never explained why she kept waking up screaming. Ethan offered water, shelter, silence. Now she was breaking. Her hands trembled as she pressed them into the dirt, knuckles white. They said if I talked, if I told anyone, it would all start again. Ethan's jaw tightened. He had heard those words. Before, years ago, spoken by someone who didn't survive long enough to finish the story. "Who is they?" he asked. Clara shook her head violently. "You don't understand. You don't want to." He did understand. That was the problem. The ranch had a history. People whispered about it in town, about the disappearances, the graves that were never marked, the way Ethan Hale never stayed long after sundown. Clara looked up at him, eyes red, voice cracking. "I did something terrible, or I was made to." Ethan's boots scraped against the dirt as he finally moved closer, crouching so they were eye level. "Listen to me," he said quietly. "Whatever it is, it ends here." She laughed, a hollow, broken sound. "That's what I thought too." The horse in the background snorted, uneasy. Clara reached into her torn shirt and pulled out a small object wrapped in cloth. Her hands shook as she opened it. A badge. Old, blood-stained. Ethan recognized it instantly. The color drained from his face. "That man came to my village," Clara said. "Said he was law. Said he'd protect us. But he chose who lived and who vanished." Ethan stood up slowly, eyes never leaving the badge. "That badge belonged to my brother." Clara flinched. "Then you already know what he was." The wind howled harder now, as if the land itself was listening. Ethan turned away, staring toward the horizon where the sun was beginning to die. "My brother disappeared 10 years ago." "No," Clara whispered. "He didn't disappear, he hid." Ethan felt something snap inside him. Not rage, not grief, but certainty. The kind that demands action. Behind Clara's shaking voice was the truth he had been running from his entire life. And now it had found him. Night fell fast on the ranch, swallowing the land whole. Lantern light flickered against the barn walls, throwing long, warped shadows that twisted like memories refusing to stay buried. Ethan hadn't spoken in over an hour. Clara sat where she was, waiting, not begging, not crying anymore. She had already said everything that could be said. The truth was out now, and truth had a way of demanding payment. Ethan finally turned back to her. His voice was calm, too calm. "My brother used this land as a hunting ground. I knew something was wrong. I just never proved it." Clara nodded. "He told me if I escaped, someone else would pay instead." Ethan walked past her and opened a hidden door beneath the barn floor. The smell rose instantly. Metal, earth, old regret. Clara recoiled. "What is that?" "Where monsters end," Ethan replied. Inside were chains, tools, records. Proof. Ethan's hand shook as he picked up a journal. Page after page confirmed what he had feared all along. Names, places, dates. Clara sobbed softly. "I didn't want to survive," she said. "I just wanted it to stop." Ethan closed the journal and looked at her. Not as a victim, not as a threat, but as someone caught in a storm created by evil men. "I hesitated once," he said quietly. "And people died because of it." Clara looked up. "What are you going to do?" Ethan lit the lantern brighter. "I'm going to make sure no one ever disappears from this land again." By morning, the ranch burned, not in flames but in revelation. Ethan rode into town and placed the journal, the badge, and the evidence on the sheriff's desk. His brother's legacy ended that day. Clara left before sunrise, carrying nothing but freedom. As for Ethan Hale, he stayed behind, guarding a land that would never again hide horrors and silence. Some truths destroy you, others set the world right.